PUBG New State came out just a couple of days ago, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can record your screen on iOS and Android devices. That way, you can kickstart your YouTube channel on PUBG, as well as how to live stream on iOS and Android to either Twitch or YouTube, and that way you can finally become a streamer. The best thing about today's video is I'm going to show you guys how you can record your device's internal audio. I'm sure you've clicked on a lot of videos in the past where the gameplay might be good, but the audio quality is terrible. Like, you hear the game, but you also hear a baby crying, music playing, the TV on, people arguing. It just doesn't sound good. I'm going to show you guys how to remove all of that background noise so the people that watch your video only hear the game sound itself, and it sounds 1,000 times better. I really hope this video does help you guys out. If it does, please take a second and hit that like button and subscribe down below. I did spend a lot of time to make this video, 2 days in fact, so please show your support and comment down below letting me know this video did help you. It would really be a boost of morale letting me know that this video actually helped some of you guys out. Thank you so much, and let's get this started. So to start things off, if you have an iOS device, an Apple device, regardless if you have an iPad or an iPhone, it's extremely easy to record your screen with internal audio. You have a built-in screen recorder, and in order to enable it, what you need to do is go over to your settings, scroll down to Control Center settings, and add the screen recorder. Then you can go over to PUBG New State, swipe down from the top right, see this button, press and hold till you see this screen right here, and turn off the microphone. I know it sounds a little bit weird if you would want to turn off the microphone, but when you turn off the microphone, all it's going to pick up is the game sound itself. And also, make sure you don't have vibration mode turned on. Make sure you turn on the ringer. That way you can actually hear the game that you're playing. If you wanted to make a live commentary on YouTube, you're going to have to turn on the microphone. But I'm going to show you guys later on in this video a better way to make a live commentary so it sounds better than the way that we're talking about right here. However, now let's actually talk about Android users, and if you have an Android device with Android 10 or newer. Good news, it's very simple to actually record your screen with internal audio. First off, what you should do is see if your device actually has a built-in screen recorder. So what you need to do is go over to your Android settings, search screen record, and then see if anything appears. If something does, you should click on it and see if you can record the system sounds or internal audio, something like that. It should say something like that. And if you can click on that and it works, that's all you need to do. Then you can go over to PUBG New State, swipe down so you see your Android Control Center, click on Screen Record, and when that button appears, you know that you're actually recording your screen with internal audio enabled. Of course, it's not going to pick up your voice. So if you wanted to do a live commentary, you're going to have to use a separate screen recorder. And for the people that don't have the ability to use a built-in screen recorder because maybe their Android 10 device doesn't have that, what you need to do is go over to the Google Play Store and search one of the many screen recorders that it offers. AZ Screen Recorder is a good one. Mobizen, DU Recorder, X Recorder, they are all great screen recorders. They all do the same job. So you can download one of them. AZ Screen Recorder is the one that I'm using in this video. So if you want to, be consistent with what I am doing, you can open that up once you download it and then go through your settings. If you have Android 10 or newer, you can go right down to the record audio, make sure it's enabled, and then check internal audio because your device is able to allow it. Then you can go back up and make sure you make your resolution good. I would personally put it pretty high. And your bit rate is hugely important. Put that at the highest setting possible, all right? Bit rate directly correlates to the quality of your video. So if you have a low bit rate, it's going to look very pixelated and very bad. So make sure the bit rate is good. And then finally, for your frame rates, it all depends on what level of power your device has. If you have a pretty budget phone, you might have to keep it at 30 frames per second, which is perfectly fine. For like 5 years, I made videos at 30 frames per second. But if you can handle 60 frames per second and not see any lag when you're playing PUBG New State, obviously 60 frames per second is the way to go. But as you saw just a few seconds ago, we could see that for Android 10 users and above, they can record the internal audio. However, what do you do if you have an Android device that's lower than Android 10? If you were following along with this, you downloaded A to Z Screen Recorder and you have Android 9, it'll say a setting something like, hey, you can't do that because you need Android 10 or newer. On this device, I have Android 9. It's an older device that's a couple of years old, and how I can actually record the internal audio with this device is pretty nifty, and I still don't quite understand how it works, but it does, so you really need to follow with me, okay? What you need to get is some pair of earphones. As you can see, the pair of earphones that I have are not fancy. They are not expensive. They cost me $7 on Amazon, and I bet you can find something even cheaper. All you need to have is a pair of earphones with a built-in call button and a dedicated microphone. Hugely important, it won't work if you don't have that. When you plug it into your phone, you should see this icon appear at the top of your screen, and that'll let you know that it actually works because it's a pair of earphones with a microphone attached. Then, you need to get some sort of clamp, as I have right here, and clamp down on the call button. I know it sounds weird, but you need to have the call button permanently pressed down. And I'm sure you don't want to have to hold it with your thumbs, so use the clamp to actually clamp down on the call button. Then, you plug it into your phone, you do the same AZ screen recorder settings that we talked about just a few minutes ago, and then you make sure that the record audio button is enabled. Even though it says that it can't actually work for anybody that has lower than Android 10, trust me on this, when you actually open up a game, you have that call button clamped, your phone has the headphones plugged in, and then you click start recording, it's not going to pick up anything else around you. It's only going to pick up the game audio itself. And it sounds crazy, but let me actually show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. All right, everybody, so I don't actually have PUBG downloaded on this phone, but I'm going to just show you guys Crossy Road just for the sake of it being a lot simpler. This is without my headphones plugged in. There are my headphones. There's the plug. My headphones are not plugged in, and this is what it's going to sound like. It's not going to sound great. If you wanted to record the device's internal audio, well, here we go. We're playing Crossy Road, and let's actually just play for like 30 seconds or so. I'm going to show you guys the recording, the playback afterward. But it doesn't sound great. So we died. We're going to press the end recording and see what it sounds like. Audio, well, here we go. We're playing Crossy Road, and let's actually just play for like 30 seconds or so. I'm going to show you guys the recording, the playback afterward. But it doesn't sound great. So we died. We're going to press the end recording and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, and now for the second recording here, I have my headphones plugged in. And as you can see, I got my very janky setup with the clamp right over top the call button, okay? So, for the first recording, you guys saw that it picked up my voice. I didn't want it to pick up my voice, but it did. And every time my hand went over the microphone, which is like right about right there, it got super staticky and it sounded terrible. And you would notice that even more with a game like PUBG, where your hand is constantly going all over the place, covering over the microphone. So I'm going to click the start record button, and I want you guys to notice that even though I'm doing a commentary right here, I'm talking, it's not going to pick up my voice. You're only going to hear the Crossy Road audio, and it's really nice if you're trying to make these types of videos where there's like a montage or something like that. Let's go click the end record button and see what it sounds like. Now, I really hope it made a lot of sense, guys, but basically, yes, you get your earphones, you make sure you have that dedicated call button and microphone. You clamp down on the call button so it is permanently pressed. If Google Assistant appears, then just exit out of Google Assistant. It doesn't really matter, right? But then you plug in your headphones, you open up AZ Screen Recorder, you go in, put all the different settings that you want, then go over to PUBG New States. Once you press record, no matter what type of background noise you have, it's only going to pick up the game audio itself. And this works the best for people that have lower than Android 10. AZ Screen Recorder is great, but honestly, any screen recorder does the same job. So use whatever one you're most comfortable with, and using this little trick with the earphones, it should work for you. All right, everybody, so now let's talk about the issue with live commentaries and how to make them sound as good as possible. Before we actually talk about live streaming, if you're making YouTube videos, you're just recording, you want to make your commentary and games sound good. But unfortunately, if you just have one device, one iPhone, one iPad, one Android, it's not possible to record both the internal audio and your microphone. You can't do both of those. What it's going to actually do is, by default, play the game sound out of the speaker of your phone. And that's why, if you're trying to use just one phone, you want to be very careful and make sure your hand is not covering over the speaker. Make sure your hand is not covering over the microphone and the speaker, and then that way you can play the game sound out of the speaker. It doesn't sound the best, but it's not going to be muffled at any point by your hand. You also don't want to be in a loud environment. You want to be in a quiet room where there's not very many things that will echo your voice, and that way it's going to sound the absolute best. It's not ideal, but it avoids you spending a lot of money, right? And as long as your hand is not covering over the speaker or the microphone, yes, it does mean you have to hold your phone in a pretty weird way. It's going to save you a little bit of money, and it's good as a starting point when you're first making your YouTube videos. Once you finally want to evolve and change your channel up to the next level and actually make a better quality video where it records internal audio as well as your live commentary, then you're going to have to buy a microphone. And that microphone can either be plugged into a different device, like say, for example, you are playing PUBG New State on an iPhone. Well, you can plug in your microphone on an iPad, or you can plug in your microphone to a computer, and your computer picks up your voice. That way, you can record your internal audio on your phone, and then you can record your microphone audio on either a computer or a different device. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but that's the next step. But first, start out with just the standard playing the sound out of the speakers and just trying to have your hand not cover over the speakers so it sounds as good as possible, and see if you would like to actually continue making videos. Don't spend money buying a special microphone or anything like that until you know that you want to actually take it to the next level. Next up though, let's finally talk about live streaming and how to live stream on iOS and Android. The good news is hey, regardless if you have an iPhone or an Android or an iPad or even an old Android that's below Android 9, to live stream is all basically the same exact thing. What you need to do is open up the App Store or the Google Play Store and download something called Omelet Arcade, as I have downloaded right here. There are several apps that do the same thing as Omelet Arcade, but this is one of the best ones that everybody usually talks about and recommends. Once you open it up for the very first time, you're going to actually have to sign in and create an account. So once you create an account, you put in your username, your special avatar, stuff like that, you're going to see a screen something like this. It should look like this for you, and it's actually kind of cool because people can live stream directly to Omelet Arcade themselves. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you want to know how to do that to YouTube or Twitch or something like that. So you're going to click the plus button at the bottom of your screen and then click Go Live, as I have done right here. Once you click Go Live, it's probably not going to have any of these YouTube, Twitch, Facebook things enabled. And what you need to do is actually click on either YouTube or Twitch or Facebook and sign into your account. As you can see, I have signed into my ExxotikGaming account, right? And at this point in time, then I can click Next and then go through the settings of making my stream look as good as possible. I just clicked Next, and this is what it will look like for you. Obviously, it's not going to look exactly like this because what you need to do is actually first search PUBG New State or whatever game you're actually playing. It doesn't have to be PUBG New State. You just type it up, click on it, and it'll default your stream title and description to say, watch me play PUBG New State via Omelet Arcade. Of course, you can change that, customize that to exactly what you would like, you know. If you wanted to make a cooler title or description, you could even put, for example, your social media. This is my social media, ExxotikGaming, on Twitter and Instagram, if you guys would like to follow me, but that's besides the point. You have some stream settings, which are pretty important. Your audio source is going to be the game audio. As you can see, it's going to be 100. I just kept it at that. That's perfectly fine. And then your quality, you can either choose 720p or 1080p. I wouldn't put it anything lower than that. 720p if you don't want a watermark. 1080p if you want it to say recorded with Omelet Arcade or something like that. And I don't know if people want that, so I'd probably recommend people just sticking with 720p. Of course, for your orientation, you're going to want to choose landscape. Don't even bother with portrait unless you're, playing a game that actually has portrait mode, like Pokemon Go, for example, right? And then for your push notifications, I would put it at Do Not Disturb. After that, you can go over to your advanced settings, and this is where things are pretty customized to you yourself. And this is where you need to actually spend a little bit of time to make it exactly how you would like it. Like, some people might not care if there's cursing in their chats. Other people may say, no cursing. If you curse in my chat, you're banned, right? So you have to actually customize your chat rules to say that. Who can chat? probably everyone if you're just starting out, because there's not going to be that many people watching to begin with, right? Moderators, you can actually add moderators as you find people that you find trustworthy that want to moderate your live stream chat and stuff like that. Welcome message, farewell message. That's the things people see when they first join and leave your live stream. And then a couple other settings like that. But I do want to be very clear. Omelet Arcade does have this pro version, this Omelet Plus, I think it's called. You shouldn't really rush out and buy that. Stick with the free version of Omelet Arcade. That way you can actually test it out, see if you even like it, and then finally, once you actually get more comfortable with it and you realize, yeah, I actually want to do live streaming more long term, then you can buy the pro version. Don't buy the pro version until you've done a couple of live streams, you're comfortable with it, and you actually enjoy it. Because some people don't like live streaming. I don't like live streaming. I don't like the idea of everything being live right there, and there's no way that I can change it and edit it after the fact, right? So some people might just not like that. And, well, before you buy the pro version, actually test out the free version. That's basically what I'm saying here. Then finally, you have your stream delay, which, as you guys can see at the bottom there, this is basically enabled so people don't really stream snipe you, for example. Obviously, if you're just starting out and you only have a few viewers, you're probably not going to have people stream sniping you, but as you get hundreds and hundreds of viewers, you might want to kick that up to 30 seconds, for example, something like that. And at this point in time, after you've customized all of your settings to exactly how you would like, then you would click the Done button and get your live stream started. So I've clicked the Done button, and this is probably what it's going to look like for you. It might come up with some little notification, and then you can X out of that, and then you will see something like this. Once you click the orange Start button in the center of your screen, it's going to start live streaming, and everybody's going to hear exactly what you're saying. So be very careful. Don't click the orange button until you are 100% ready, okay? Make sure, maybe even double check on your settings to make sure they're perfect. The title, the thumbnail, everything like that. Make sure it's perfect, and then click Start Stream. I'm obviously not going to start my stream because I don't want people to see me making this video, so I'm not going to do that. But once you click the Start Stream button, you're going to be able to start live streaming your game. And obviously, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can choose YouTube, you can choose Twitch if you would like to. You could probably even choose both things. You could actually stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so you can maximize your audience and stuff like that. But I would stick to one and grow that one in the beginning. And then maybe later on, if you start to grow followers on YouTube and Twitch, then you can actually do both things at the same time. But I think with that being said, that actually wraps everything up. We basically talked about how to record your screen with internal audio for iOS and Android users, regardless if the Android user had Android 10 and above or Android 9 and below, using the very nifty headphones with the clamp on the call button type of method. But it works, and that's the most important thing. Then I showed you guys some little tips and tricks for live commentaries. And then finally, how to live stream using Omelet Arcade for both iOS and Android. And I think it's great. I think it's cool, and I really hope you guys did find this useful. This was a bit of a long video, so please take a second and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Again, as I said in the intro, comment down below letting me know that this video did help you. That would be really nice to know that people were actually benefited from this, and it would be, more encouraging for me to actually make more tips and tricks videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, though, guys. Again, as I said, please subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.